Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek.
This week, there's an epic party, but Mariner's not on the guest list. Tendi and Rutherford blow up the cutest warp core you've ever seen, and Becky's back in town with a case full of bubble bath, and Boimler's riding shotgun. Find out what a Doopler is and how not to duplicate it. And our number one is back from Star Trek Day.
See after you looked at the pulsar? Like, what kind of a medical doctor are you? You should have been able to fix that for him. Oh, shoot, we're on. Hey, everybody. This is number one. Our captain, unfortunately, is still having vision problems after he looked at that pulsar. And kind of embarrassing, but he walked into a holo program that was BDSM, and he stuck on someone's St. Andrew's cross. So,
oh my God,
we won't be seeing him.
He walked into the wrong holodeck?
Who's St. Andrews?
Oh, poor
It's just a BDSM thing that you can get tied to.
You get mounted to something, or
yes,
or yes. He got mounted, or did the captain mount somebody?
No, you get strapped to it and then they flog you.
Oh,
I hope you took screenshots of the security footage.
Not yet, but I'm going to. We're going to post that. We're going to post that on the for the Patreon users.
There you go. Well, wasn't that exciting?
Speaking of, this program, our lovely show, is brought to you by our Patreon users. Thank you very much. And by Section 31.
And we are not a podcast for kids. So if you have any kids in the room, if you are under the age of 18, get out of here because this will disturb you.
Hide your kids, but bring your wife.
Because we don't want any more complaints from HR. We have enough of them. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and introduce we have our wonderful science officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer. And Captain, I need to speak with you. We had a Tribble incident.
Again.
You know, now that Nathan's gone, I need to go to you with all of the Tribble troubles that we're having. And there's quite a few.
You know, you just got to stop feeding them and stop letting them duplicate each other.
We're trying to neuter them, which, by the way, become a Patreon so you can help us neuter the Tribbles.
No more duplicating of Tribbles. We cannot duplicate Tribbles anymore.
Lots of copies of Tribbles.
Darn.
This is so embarrassing.
That was awesome.
We have our wonderful engineer.
Hi, I'm Rocky. I'm the engineer of the show and the ship, and I will not be allowing anybody to use the warp drive for photocopying. We have a miniature model of our ship, but it is not an actual functional model of the ship.
Yeah, so you can't eject the warp core to blow open a port hatch.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys were doing?
Well, you know.
I was wondering what you were doing over there on that table by yourself.
We just didn't want to be social.
I was playing with myself. Cards.
You know, I heard that, it's a good idea to love yourself. And I was like, yeah, I'm totally into that. That totally is good. I totally support that. But then I realized that wasn't what they were talking about.
That's not what they mean when they say self-care.
They meant something completely different.
They're talking about something totally different.
Chihuahua. And well, anyway, next, I'm number one. Like I said, our captain's out, so I will be manning the ship for the duration until he figures out how to get off of St. Andrew's Cross. So what do we got for news? Heather?
Hi, Captain. So news for this week is during Star Trek Day, which, by the way, if you haven't already, go check it out and watch it. It was awesome. They announced that Discovery Season 4 will air Thursday, November 18th, 2021. And also the new Season 4 trailer is out, so also go check that out.
Cool. Rocky, what do you got?
I was looking at non-Star Trek Day news, although it came out on Star Trek Day. I just didn't want to be the guy that says, look at the Star Trek Day, look at the Star Trek Day, although it was very cool. Nana Visitor, you may remember her from such lovely TV programs as Star Trek Deep Space Nine. She's writing a book. She's writing a book that is specifically focused on the franchise's portrayal and influence on women. It's called A Woman's Trek from Uhura to Burnham, Star Trek's female stars on 6 decades of change and empowerment. And she's actually doing the interviews herself. And apparently the video clip was showing her talking to other co-stars from DS9, like Terry Farrell and Nicole and Penny Johnson. And you even got Discovery's Mary Chieffo in there.
Woohoo.
And she's
Yay!
got also has some of the writers and stunt women also being interviewed. So this sounds like a really cool book to check out. And I believe it don't quote me on this because I'm not sure what I wrote. My note's a little cryptic, but it's supposed to be out in 2022.
Yay. Ladies in the house.
Very cool.
Yeah, totally.
She's very sweet. She's a really wonderful person.
Oh, I've heard a lot of good stuff about her.
I really enjoyed the interview she had on Gates McFadden's podcast. Not that she had two parts. And the second, like one of the parts was like serious, like something that went down with her in her history. It was kind of serious, but she's also, it was lovely to hear the ladies talk about growing up doing the theater and the dance. They have that in common. So it was kind of cool.
Oh, nice. Well, I have news. I was lucky enough to attend Star Trek Day from Paramount Plus at the Skirball Center in Los Angeles. I beamed down, took it a little away mission, and it was pretty damn cool, I gotta tell you. So let me go with the celebrity sightings first. Gates McFadden was there. Anthony Montgomery, George and Brad Takei. Jeff Russo was there. He does all the music. Will Wheaton and Misha Burton, LeVar's daughter, are the ones who hosted it. Jerry Ryan and I can't remember her name, but the new Borg Queen were there. Jonathan Del Arco, Garrett Wong, some of the cast from Lower Decks, some of the cast from Discovery, some of the cast from
Strange New Worlds?
Yeah, Strange New Worlds. Rutherford and Tendi were there.
Yay.
Jerry O'Connell was there. Rebecca Romaine, Anson Mount.
Basically everybody.
Ethan Peck.
It was a pretty happening day.
Yeah.
Or evening, because it was more of evening.
I am so jealous that you got to go and I didn't go. I had to stay with the Tribbles and I was so mad about that.
It was pretty cool. And then they had like a little exhibit that you could go to afterwards inside the Skirball Center. It had like costumes and props and stuff. And it's a lot of the same stuff that I saw in Washington. They have like this geek museum in Washington and they had the Star Trek exhibit there. So it was a lot of the same stuff that I remember seeing there. But we got some cool swag too. We got a lunchbox cooler that says Star Trek Day on it. And then we got a bag that says Star Trek Day that had a pair of socks, a baseball cap, a Star Trek Day mask, to be COVID, safe, a captain's log, journal, a glass.
Ew.
No, not that kind of log.
No, not that kind of log. The kind you write in, you goofball.
Oh, okay.
And then a keychain and remember the visitor's badge that Picard wore in season 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that.
Oh, cool.
So
Very, very cool. And you didn't mention it, but you were cited. You were actually on the official
You were
video.
on the live stream. Yeah.
I wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
That's cool. You're
it was
a
in high
YouTuber.
definition, no less.
Oh, yay for that.
It wasn't bad, actually.
That was awesome. I saw you and I was jumping up and down. I know you.
Yeah, they when we first got there, those of us who were in uniform, they were like, "Can we get your picture?" And so they would take. They had a video camera and they just kind of panned over us, and they did that with a lot of different people. And I guess I was, lucky enough to make it into the feed. So it was kind of cool.
You made the montage.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I had a couple friends on Facebook message me like, I just saw you on TV.
That's how I felt.
Nice. Well, I saw Lana in there too.
Yes, Lana was there. Robin was there. David Chang was there.
Hi, Lana.
Just a lot of these Star Trek people that we know that we go with to conventions were present. So it was pretty cool. And they made a lot of really cool announcements. Like they had this really cool Lower Decks mid-season montage. They had they introduced you to the Strange New Worlds cast, which Uhura is coming back, and Nurse Chapel and Dr. Benga from the original series first episode.
Very cool.
Woo-hoo.
And they showed some of that background of that. I mean, there were those, what do you call it, leaked photos from the set that came out maybe a couple months ago.
Those look so good.
They looked incredible, and they are authentic.
Yeah.
Because they were sitting on those sets doing those interviews.
Yeah. And this only happened one time during the entire event when George Takei came out on stage. He got a standing ovation.
Oh, wow. See that?
Yeah.
I did not
So
catch that in the playback. That's really cool.
Well, and you didn't catch it in the playback either, but Jerry Ryan was the one who introduced the season 2 Picard trailer. So,
Oh, I saw that.
oh, they showed that?
Yeah, they saw that. Yeah.
Oh, I did not see that when I watched it. Okay.
I think I saw that. I could be imagining things because that photo you got of her in that dress, that was gorgeous.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. It was a little bit warm because they held it outside in a courtyard.
With
And
no air conditioning?
No air conditioning. So I was
Oh.
sweating through my uniform.
Was it 100 degrees out?
Wasn't that hot, but it was it was a little uncomfortable to put, just putting it mildly. But they really did a nice job, so.
I gotta say the stream with the orchestra was phenomenal.
They were amazing.
Phenomenal. And Isa Briones is fucking amazing as a singer.
Oh my God, she was so good.
I was recording her and my alarm went off on my phone and it stopped the recording. I was so pissed.
Oh.
Did it make an loud noise or was it?
Well, I had the volume down, so
thank God.
It just interrupted the recording. So
I was gonna say you could hear his alarm going off in the back.
You never want to be that guy.
You never want to be that guy.
That would have been really embarrassing. But yeah, the orchestra was top notch. I mean, they were really good. The only bad thing now, and I did not hear this personally, but Wilson Cruz posted that when he was on stage with Lou Del Barrio and Ian, that someone used some kind of gay slur again, towards him.
That's awful. That's horrible.
Are you freaking serious?
I don't understand how that works with the crowd from Star Trek in the audience.
I know.
Exactly. So I wasn't close enough to have heard that, and I wouldn't imagine, it would have been very loud, but so I'm thinking it had to be either someone in one of the front rows or someone in the orchestra.
Yeah, because didn't Will Wheaton say he didn't hear it either, and if he heard it, he would have stopped it immediately and called it out?
Wow.
Yeah. Will wasn't on stage at the time, I don't think.
Yeah, he was on the side.
Yeah, but aside, that was the only blemish from a very cool, wonderful event. So
okay, so the hosts on the live stream, did you get to see them in person as well?
No, they were somewhere else. I don't know where they were, but they were not where we came in or where we were sitting.
They were socially distanced by the red carpet, I guess.
Yes.
the pronunciation of Ricardo Montalban's name was.
Oh my God! My head exploded. I was like, "You did not."
I mean, it was Montalban. Is that what she said? It was something horrible. I'm like, oh God, she doesn't have a fucking clue what she's talking about. And I want to be nice about it, but that kind of stood out.
These guys behind me were like, "There's a frickin' theater like 5 miles from here that has his name on it. Come on, people." Yeah. So. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to go. Thank you to Ryan Husk for getting me the invite. I appreciate it, Ryan.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And other than that, they actually were pretty good. They were kind of fun doing that hosting gig. But you got to imagine how difficult it is to be live and on the spot like that and get everything right all the time, especially with something as specific as Star Trek. The cool thing about it is you could tell they were definitely fans of Trek. So they're actually okay in my book. But it was just kind of an awkward pronunciation. Like, oops.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, so we've covered our news. Oh, I guess I didn't mention Alex Kurtzman did talk about a Star Trek Academy series that's potentially in the works.
Starfleet Academy. Yeah.
So that would be really cool.
It's been interesting. They've been talking about Starfleet Academy for many decades, I think. Wasn't there even a video game?
I believe there is.
I think there was a video game, but they really wanted to make it a show or a movie or something. And it's cool
I'd love to see.
They're floating the idea around it, and it sounds like he's working on it. And that's cool because what better time? We've got so much Trek going on right now, and the Academy must be popping.
Okay, wait. Pause a little bit. We still haven't gotten our Section 31 show yet.
Well, of course, we still need that.
Yeah.
No, but we're going to have a lot because Star Trek Prodigy comes out on October 28th, and then on November 18th is when Discovery starts. So we're going to have some overlap of shows, people. So be prepared.
Get ready to take extra notes.
Yes.
We'll be talking about 2 shows in 1 episode.
Yeah. But Prodigy's probably only a half-hour show, so I wouldn't expect it to be
They were showing the trailer for that. Now that looks pretty good too.
Yeah.
That looks like a show I'd want to check out.
Is that going to be on Netflix or something
Paramount
like
Plus.
Nickelodeon?
Well, yeah, when in doubt, Paramount Plus. It's produced by Nickelodeon and CBS, which
That's
is
what I was wondering.
kind of all in Paramount.
Okay.
It's all the same company now.
Well, they had some of the actors who were there. They had 2 of the actors from the show. The one guy who goes, look for the buttons to go pew pew pew
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, so him.
That was so funny.
I know, right?
Hilarious.
And then the blob character.
Oh yes,
the gelatinous one. Well, the guy who voices that was there. He was like,
amazing the combination of sounds coming out of that guy. It was great.
I was like, what the heck? I'm like, He's like that guy from Police Academy, Michael.
Yeah, exactly. Like Michael Winslow. Yeah.
Michael Winslow. Yeah. So
very talented.
Very much so. Okay, folks. So we have a episode to discuss. Heather, what did we watch?
Aye, Captain. So this week's episode is, well, do I say captain or acting captain?
I was going to say, are you allowed to call him captain?
I'm number one. You would have to say acting captain.
Acting captain. Okay.
I would just say number one.
Just go number one.
Number one. Okay.
Yeah.
I number one.
Don't go number one. Just say number one. Yeah. If you go number one, it's a different show.
Or don't make me make you a number two.
That's in a different holodeck.
That's a different website.
Luckily, the captain didn't go in that holodeck.
Right.
Okay. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 5, An Embarrasment of Dooplers. First aired September 9th, 2021. Teaser. MIA. Holy hairballs, there's no teaser. Moving on to act number one.
I was going to say, wait a minute. It started up fresh, cold, right on the open.
Okay, act number one. The Doopler Effect. Storyline A. The Cerritos is Ubering an emissary.
Emissions? What?
Missionary, that's a whole nother religious show.
That's another show. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you do it missionary, you got to escort them a certain way.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a different holodeck too.
That's when you're doing missionary with an escort.
We have different.
And scene.
The Cerritos is Ubering an emissary to Starbase 25. Once the job is done and they drop him off, the bridge crew is looking forward to that wicked party being held there. But after walking on eggshells for the whole trip, Captain Freeman slips up and insults the emissary at the very last second, causing him to duplicate like tribbles. Unfortunately, the starbase won't let them dock or go to the party until this has been fixed. Storyline B, Mariner and Boimler are dying to go to that party too, but they're uninvited. Doesn't stop them from hatching up a plan where they use the invitation of Boimler's transporter clone, who is currently preoccupied on a very busy Titan. Just as they're picking out what scant they want to wear, the Doopler chaos begins, providing a perfect distraction to sneak off the ship and go to the party. Their next mission is to figure out that address of the party.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but the guy who voiced the emissary, Richard Kind, you might know him from Mad About You in Spin City and Gotham.
Cool.
But you would also know him from American Dad, Big Mouth, Inside Out, A Bug's Life, and Cars.
That's why he sounded familiar and I couldn't place it.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's very prolific and he's been acting for, decades. And so, yeah, he's got that. And it was funny because when he duplicated on the screen, the caption said Dooplercating. So it's not duplicating,
I was
but Dooplercating.
Wondering what the
That's
hell
perfect.
a Doopler was, because we knew the title of this one and they're like, Dooplers? What the fuck is a Doopler? And apparently they're just like tribbles, but not as cute.
Isn't this the first time this alien race has been shown on Star Trek?
I believe so. I don't think we've ever seen them before.
Yeah, I think they made them up. It's a new race, new life forms and civilizations.
Yay.
But what a crazy thing that if they get slightly embarrassed, they duplicate.
Yeah.
How weird is that? That's just weird.
Their planet must be huge.
Or they just don't get embarrassed very often.
Well, I would imagine around
embarrassed
themselves, they would, around each, more Dooplers, they wouldn't get embarrassed because they know.
Talk about meeting a new person and like, oh my God.
Right?
Talk about social anxiety.
Yikes. I mean, how embarrassing is it to drop a fork? That was like so stressful. They freaked out and like, no, I'll just throw a fork down too. It's not a big deal.
I guess it depends on what's on that fork.
Or if you drop it on somebody's foot or something. I mean, the point down.
Or stab someone in the eye with it,
Yeah, ouch.
Or there's no extra fork around.
There's no forking around.
No forking around.
I often have Vulcan forks where they have a split in the middle. They kind of bend outwards and it looks like a V. So like they're Vulcan.
Oh my
Vulcan
God.
size forks. We have some of those in the house.
I heard those are great for dieting.
You only get two at a time? Yeah. Poor Mariner, though, man. She's like, sometimes this job feels just like stacking crates in storage bays. What are we doing next? Stacking crates in storage bay 7.
It's like our life is crates.
Stacking in crates.
They must be like so ripped. They're like their muscles must be like
from moving all those crates around.
From moving all the crates around.
And Boimler got a heavy one too. I mean, they're not all heavy, but Boimler picked up the heavy one, of course.
I liked when she said that they were going to be missing out on this great party. She said they could be getting torn. Instead, we'll be stacking. I like that torn as in getting torn up drunk.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I like that new phrase. I'm going to have to use that from now on.
When you go to the bar and use it, people will be like, "You want to what?"
I want to get torn up on some Dr. Pepper, man.
Oh, they might take that the wrong way.
It sounded like something else, sir.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No? Okay.
Well, maybe it was good, but depends if you're into that sort of thing.
If you want that.
Well, who knows? So
apparently the replicated water tastes better on the Titan.
Well,
it's just water. It's replicated.
I didn't want the sales pitch.
Maybe it's like in a better cup or something, because I can't understand how replicated water would taste better on one ship versus the other.
It doesn't. He was just excited to be there. That's
well, I mean, they do use people's shit and pee to make the replicated food and water. So, there is that.
Yeah, but the taste is not supposed to be affected by that.
I would hope not. But obviously it is.
Okay, what about Tendi and Rutherford? They're putting a model together, and it's a cute little Cerritos, but the fucker has 5 phasers built in.
Right? They zap someone there in the bar.
Whoops, sorry.
That was a cool model. I like seeing how the models evolved.
Yeah, does it actually come with phasers? Because I'd pay extra for that. That'd come in handy.
Well, it will in 2083.
Right? Well, I liked when they're getting ready to go to the party and Mariner's all, oh, yeah, looking sexy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's got her hair playing with it like, oh, yeah, go girl.
Yep. And Boimler's like, oh, should we bring our scants?
Yeah, I love that.
And they're like, nobody wears those anymore. I'm like, come on, somebody's got to wear those.
Like, yeah, we do.
I so want a lower deck scant.
Yes.
That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Yes.
I mean, the tops that are out are pretty nice, but yeah, scant lower deck style. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then I have to get white boots.
People cosplay costumes that don't actually exist. Maybe one day they'll cosplay that.
Well, my friend Anna, who was at the Star Trek Day, she was all Star Trek lower decks.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love seeing those.
Then when they get down to what was the planet name? Starbase 25, but not planet. Starbase 25. Mariner's like, just follow me. I used to live here. And he's like, of course you did.
Well, yeah, that girl gets around.
Right?
Of course she's lived there. I mean, come on.
Hey, you remember Becky Mariner? She's back.
Becky?
Yeah.
You're right. Who's Becky?
It's Becky. Oh my God, Becky. Look at her butt.
Oh my God, Becky.
It's so big.
It is so big. It can't even get in the door at Quark's. It's so big. Like, seriously, and they had a Quark's there.
Yeah, the Quark's is enterprising. They're getting out. They got the franchise going. Yeah.
Not just on DS9 anymore. We got Starbase 25 hanging out here.
And they're also on Free Cloud.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Quark's is popping.
He's got to make that platinum.
Totally.
Quark's been around for thousands of years.
Well, on to the next section, I think. Are we done with this one?
I think so.
Number 1.
Yeah? Okay. Next section, please.
Okay. Act 2. Dooplercating. Storyline A. The Doopler emissary insecurities and oversensitivity causes him to duplicate at an increasing speed with the slightest communication or interaction. Storyline B. Mariner visits an ex-coworker who she might have stranded once or twice before, and the bad blood between them result in Mariner and Boimler getting roped into a UPS type of mission to deliver a package of shampoo bottles shaped like Data.
And lore, don't forget.
There might be some lores in there.
There was some lores in there.
There was one or two lores. Yeah, you could tell the lores by who was smiling. It was so funny. But bad luck comes in threes when they realize they are transporting stolen weapons at the same time the sirens alert them that the cops are pulling them over. Mariner shares a secret that the cops are super slow in these parts, and she guns it, initiating a getaway chase and ending in multiple crashes.
Okay, so do you guys know who Malvis was?
Mm-mm.
He was voiced by Tom Kenny, who is SpongeBob SquarePants.
No shit. That was
okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Cool.
Yeah, and he also played Kinka from the previous episode where they were on the planet with the Mugado.
Nice. I hear paper.
Yes, and he was also he's also Captain. He voices Captain Anderson, but he's also been on American Dad, Final Space, DuckTales, Powerpuff Girls.
Really, DuckTales. What was he on DuckTales?
On the new DuckTales. I don't know what the but he voiced something in Guardians of the Galaxy, the cartoon series, Mission Force One. I mean, the dude's like, he's prolific.
Star Trek always brings the good actors, the working actors, the ones that are doing stuff everywhere all the time because they're talented people and they get it done quick.
Yeah, like SpongeBob SquarePants.
I mean, that's kind of like a big name. And of course, everybody loves Star Trek. So I love that whole concept about Trek is you can get, really good quality actors. And a lot of them are like, serious actors like Shakespeare style can, a lot of those actors do Shakespeare. That's like high level acting, right?
Well, yeah. Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so cool. You get these good quality, all the great acting, and then you bring in the voices on the cartoon shows, the animation style. It's the same thing. They bring in the good voices.
Mm-hmm.
I think another guest star on Lower Decks, they brought in Jolie Osborne from Sixth Sense, the kid.
Oh, okay.
Haley Joel Osment.
Haley Joel. Yeah, that's
Haley
it. I knew I was going to screw it. I knew I was going to screw it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for correcting me. Oh, we forgot to do corrections.
Oh, well, they'll take care of that next show.
Okay.
Corrections. We forgot corrections last time.
I think we corrected ourselves like last show when we had a correction.
I don't see anything in subspace for any corrections.
Okay, we did corrections. Good.
Woohoo.
Oh, wait a minute. There was something about Voyager last.
About Voy Voy?
I think I said something about Voyager and I meant Enterprise on the last show.
Okay, yeah, because we were talking about one of the episodes we saw, but we haven't watched Voyager yet. So, I mean, for our show, we haven't watched Voyager yet. Of course, we've all seen Voyager, but
yes.
We were mentioning something, but you meant Enterprise.
It's not Voyager, it's Voy.
Only if you're Boimler.
Yes, only if you're Boim Boim.
If you're Boim Boim, you like the Voy Voy.
But we can always strand Boimler on Ceti Alpha 4, which is way worse than Ceti Alpha 5.
Apparently, I would imagine probably because it's 4, it's closer into the sun, and it's a lot hotter.
And Khan's there. Hello.
Well, that's Ceti Alpha 6.
Don't do a mission with Mariner if you don't want to be stranded.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You better have an Uber handy just in case you're going out with Mariner.
Yeah, she has a reputation.
I know. I love that how Malvis was like talking to Boimler. He goes, I just like having someone to talk about how difficult she is to work with.
Yeah, they were commiserating.
And what about when he's like, your boyfriend has it right, and Boimler's like, ugh.
Everyone says they're boyfriend, girlfriend, and it's like,
oh my God.
I mean, they do have chemistry, right? I mean,
They
you can
totally
see the
are
chemistry.
boyfriend, girlfriend.
They're just not doing it.
They have Boimler plus Mariner like etched into wood. That is a total boyfriend, girlfriend thing. I mean, okay, I was going to get started on that episode, actually next section. But Spock and Kirk, they had a thing. I've seen a lot of images on Google where they have a thing.
Well, that's just
more than
fiction.
Google. That's a lot of fan. They like to fill in the blanks. Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many people that say that.
That's they call it spirking, right? SPIRK. Because you combine Spock and Kirk, and it's.
I thought it was called fucking, but okay, that works too.
We call it whatever we want to call it, as long as nobody's hurt and everyone enjoys it.
I heard the captain using a different word in the holodeck.
Yeah, we can't even say that on here. Even though we're on a tight beam, we would still get beeped for that. Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, so, Mariner has got a thing about embarrassing stories for her. She's like, you can't tell her embarrassing stories, even though she tells them to you all the time. You can't just share that shit. I mean, what's up with that? You're gonna spill. You might as well you spill it to everybody, right?
It's a control issue.
Well,
I mean, she doesn't specifically say, don't tell anybody this, but no, she just fucking just says it. It's like, I thought we can share that story. That's a good story.
You can't share any story that makes her look bad.
I guess not.
No. So back on the ship, we're up on the bridge, and the Dooplers are Dooplercating.
Yes, they are.
And keep Dooplercating, and Captain's like, okay, we're just going to be quiet.
They
And
give
then
him
he's
the
like,
silent treatment.
they're giving me the silent treatment. It's like, no matter what you do, you cannot please these Dooplers.
And then that embarrasses them too. And then, oh my God, Rutherford has no chill.
Right? He's like, yeah, it's pretty obvious we're leaving because of you. Hello.
It's like, dude, he has no idea what he's saying.
Oh man, I've met some people who are like, or not people are. Oh shit.
Doopler.
I've met some people like that, where nothing you say, like anything you say, it doesn't matter. They're just always unhappy. Like, no matter
I thought
what.
you said people just say whatever they want and don't. They have no filters. No, you're
Well,
the
yeah,
other way
that
around.
too. They don't.
And those people get together and then they duplicate.
Ugh, gross.
That's a different holodeck.
Different holodeck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. Did anyone else notice this? I mean, I know because I watched the episode 3 times. When Boimler and Mariner are getting ready to take off in the cart after the cops pull up behind them.
Yeah, they make a run for it.
They take off. The cop pulls up to the cop that's standing there. The driver, oh my God, she looks so miserable. Like she's got to freaking take a dump so bad. I mean, it's like the way they drew her is like she was just so pinched and so tight and like, I don't like anybody.
Oh my God.
I don't like anything. Did anyone else notice that?
No, but I'm like, I know they base some of the animations, characters off of some of the animators. So I wonder which person that person was based off of.
Oh my God.
You would feel the same way though if
cracking
you
me
had
up.
to use that porta potty.
Well, you gotta go. You don't want to go in the middle of the car. That's for sure.
Dude, she knows that porta potty. That's a stinky one right there. She is not happy about having to go to that.
I mean, think about if a cop's got to go, where are they going to go? If they're on duty, they're on duty. I just said duty.
The other cops, they circle around that one cop, and then the one cop like sits and takes a shit on the street while the other cops block the view of him.
What?
Don't
It's
think
a
that's
circle
how
of
cops
cops.
work.
That wasn't in the episode. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that definitely was not in this episode.
Oh, okay.
You know what was in this episode? Dabo.
Yes, there was Dabo. There
They
was also
crashed through.
there was fine men's clothing.
Yes, there was.
Oh, in the
There was-
casino.
There's a
There
barber
was
shop.
Vulcans.
Lots of Vulcans.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And then the fish people, they're like, hey, we're not people.
Hello, did you see they almost ran over a Captain Pike chair?
Yeah.
The guy
Oh
on the
my
Captain
God.
Pike chair?
And then it beeped back at him.
Yeah.
It's like, hilarious.
They're not going to give you a warning. They're just going to run you down. They're not going to give you a glass of Thai iced tea either. They're just going to run you down.
Yep.
Oh, Mariner is just a hell of a driver, that's for sure.
Totally. And then we go back up to the ship and we find Rutherford and Tendi getting surrounded by Dooplers again.
I mean, it's like the place is flooding with Dooplers and they have to climb up to the highest space just to get above it all.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Rutherford though, because he's like, I'm just like a year behind you, behind being your friend and like competing with my own ghost.
That was kind of like, oh, Ruthy.
Poor guy.
But at the same time, competing with his own ghost, I'm like, whoa. And then I thought, hey, that's just like those racing games where you're driving around and you do a lap and then you've got to better your previous lap and you see the ghost car that was your actual previous lap it's driving. You're trying to beat it. You're basically racing yourself.
I love that holodeck game.
That's what I was thinking of except that's his relationship with Tendi.
With going back to the Dooplers duplicating, when we were talking about like what we were thinking of when we were saying that, it reminded me of this time where I went to a seminar with Ed, and then the Tribbles, they started doing this thing where we couldn't breathe. That's what it reminded me of.
Well, that's what you get for going to seminars.
It wasn't that kind of seminar.
Oh my God. My brain just like, what show are we talking about? Where are we?
Oh yeah, let's move to the aviary, he says. It'll be quiet, he says.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, geez. That was hilarious. Just the whole avian thing is like, oh, wow, look, they got a whole, it's a place full of birds.
And then that poor guy at the end, this is how I die.
I'm like, oh, wow. And then the worst part, because you feel bad for the guy, I'm like, oh, geez. And then he's like, oh, still alive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, that guy's got a hard life right there.
Oh Oh, man.
Apparently. Now he's got to clean up Bubble Bath Lake, too.
Goodness, there was so much bubble bath in that lake. That was hilarious. I'm wanting to know, where can I get the data bubble bath? Because I would like to buy one.
That would be so
Just
cool.
don't buy the lore bubble bath. That's not bubble bath.
I don't know. I'm
not sure I want to know what that is.
You could collect both of them. It's a collectible thing. You don't have to open it. You don't have to actually do the bubble bath part. You can just collectible, just sit it in your shower. And then, of course, somebody will come over to your house and use it once. You're like, you used my bubble bath? Oh, my God.
Well, if you wonder why it's smelling.
It wasn't the bubble bath?
Wasn't the bubble bath.
I'm trying to find out if we can, if they actually have any of that. Hold on.
Uh-oh, hang on.
They have data bubble bath?
Star Trek Next Generation Bubble Bath, USS Enterprise Soki.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
It's on eBay.
Of course it's on eBay.
So if you guys are interested, check out the link below in YouTube. We will have a link to that. That's why you have to watch our YouTube videos.
Or look at the show notes, because we can put the links in the show notes.
Oh, darn it. Okay, you can look at the show notes too. Darn.
I mean, if you want to watch the YouTube, watch the YouTube. Get those views up.
So do they have them in different shapes? Like, do they have a Worf one? Do they have a Data one? Do they have a Riker one?
This just looks like...
I'd probably end up with a Dion and a Troy bubble bath.
Yeah, I don't see one for that, but let's, let's see if we can find anything on Star Trek Bubble Bath. Oh, we have a Star Trek First Contact Borg Bubble Bath.
Ooh,
a Borg
kinky
bubble bath. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
just don't drop it in the bath.
I mean, you wonder how the Borg keeps themselves so clean. Or do they smell bad?
And then there's a Star Trek Bubble Bath with Enterprise top.
It's a long road.
As opposed to an Enterprise bottom.
I don't even want to know what you're Googling now. After the horn rub site.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was so funny.
Yeah, I'll include the link for all that. We'll include the link for that one too in the show notes. So
including the horn rub?
No, we're not doing horn rubs.
I honestly looked for it. It's not an actual thing.
Oh my God. That was just hilarious. If you guys haven't already, go to Twitter, check out Starfleet Underground on Twitter, and he has the image of horn rub. It's so funny. I saved that image.
Well, at least, we can move on to the next section now, right?
I was going to say, are we ready for the next section?
I think we are.
Number 1. Okay. Act 3. Pissed Dooplers. Storyline B. As everyone is dazed and confused, Mariner calls her ex-coworker and threatens to send them both to jail if he doesn't tell her where the party is being held. He agrees, and Mariner's pissed she didn't think of it sooner because that's where all of the big parties are held. They escape and finally go to the party, but only Boimler is let in, while Mariner is rejected. This starts an argument between the two before they part ways, and Boimler tries to enjoy this stellar party, but it's not any fun without Mariner. So he catches up to her at an old dive bar, and they apologize and bond over the same bar Kirk and Spock did. Storyline A. Back on the Cerritos, Captain Freeman loses her temper and yells at the Dooplers, making him angry in return. Suddenly, 2 Dooplers merge back into one, and the captain has the answer to their problems. She quickly tells the entire crew to yell, berate, and generally piss off the Doopler clones, until they have merged back into one highly insulted emissary. After their one guest walks off the ship, completely disgusted, the crew cheers. Woo! It's party time. But alas, they are not on the list and end up in front of the same dive bar as Mariner and Boimler. And Mariner invites them in for a drink. The Doopler emissary approaches right at that moment, apologizing for what happened and looking to have some fun. The captain quickly transports him to the Starfleet party, where he immediately is embarrassed and starts multiplying. Storyline C. During all of this excitement, Rutherford and Tendi try to finish their model ship as Rutherford struggles with his lack of memory. Tendi reminds him that they never finished the model in the past and they just used it as a way not to socialize. An Orion after my own heart.
Well, I'm glad I wore underwear for this.
Oh my God.
When have you not been wearing underwear? You're always wearing skants. You're telling me you've never worn underwear with that?
Commando
Skant is his nickname.
Oh, and I really thought that was balls hanging that one time. And I'm like, no, it just can't be. He would never do that. And now I know he actually did that. Oh my God.
I just want to know how many times Mariner has been on the show and she's not been wearing underwear.
Right?
I mean, we've had a whole season and a half. How many times she's got underwear on?
Yeah.
Well, apparently this was the first.
What? I mean, whoa. And she was very specific. She owed a foot up your ass to somebody.
That was to Malvis.
Yeah,
to Malvis.
that was hilarious.
And then Boimler, when they're coming out of the water, Boimler was like, I knew we should have brought the scants. You always must travel with scants, people.
How did he get? Why did the bouncer? I mean, that was a tough ass bouncer. And how did I guess they thought he was Boimler from the other ship.
I felt bad for the bouncer.
He was William. He wasn't Boim. Yeah.
Yeah, he totally
William
faked
Boimler.
his way in there. But I was just like, whoa, how could you not tell that that's not?
And then the bouncer, he's watching this whole fight between Mariner and Boimler, and he's like feeling bad for Mariner, and he goes to console her, and she's like, no, get the fuck away from me.
Well, yeah, because he's still not going to let her in.
What species was he?
I don't know.
I mean, it's like a turtle or something.
He was the worst bouncer ever. He was bouncing everybody.
It's like, I know
he
it's
was-
tough being vulnerable. Trust me, I know.
He was from Discworld.
From Terry Pratchett's Discworld?
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm like, I didn't know we were crossing genre streams here with Terry Pratchett.
We're crossing streams. No, it was a bad joke.
But Captain Shelby was looking pretty good. Didn't you guys think she was looking pretty hot?
Mm-hmm.
She was looking, of course, in the, the official dress uniform, she would look good in that.
That was a nice dress uniform. I like that dress uniform.
Who was the captain whose number one was sitting on his shoulder? Like, what was the deal with his number one being that small?
I wasn't sure what that was. I thought they were just trying to be funny, cartoony funny.
I'm like, is he like supposed to be some kind of like, miniature hobbit? I mean, what's going on here?
Looked like he almost belonged on Rutherford's ship.
Right? Could have been flying away in that sucker.
Or riding it on top like it's a go-kart.
I wonder what happened to make that, to make him so small.
Or was it the natural size?
It was a freak accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe that's his species. Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to order a dress uniform in that size?
No.
I'll have an extra child's extra small.
You have to get all your clothes custom made.
Completely.
Yeah.
That would be really, well, as long as they've got Garrick around, who cares? Garrick,
There you go. Yeah.
Garrick will make it for him.
Maybe he pissed off Q. Maybe that's what happened.
Very possible.
I've never heard an ejection of a warp core sounding so cute.
Right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The mini warp core explodes.
That was really adorable.
It was really over cute. I thought it was hilarious.
That was great. And then he gets offended by that. Oh, wait, you're leaving because of me?
I know. At this point, I'm like, okay, just shut up, Dooplers.
Exactly.
You're kind of getting on my nerves now.
They were annoying you too. Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Just shoot these things.
A couple of Dooplers just duplicated.
Yeah, right. The entire audience of Dooplers, one, they're writing a complaint letter, and two, they've been duplicating.
Yep. And then if they re-listen to our podcast, that's a few more duplications.
Again. If you're a Doopler, don't re-listen to our podcast.
Well, if you're a
We're
Doopler,
offensive.
you're stupid and you need to stop whining like a little baby.
We're offensive to both children and Dooplers.
Apparently. I love that the situation or the solution to the problem was to insult their ass.
Oh,
Right.
I love that.
You naturally get so fed up, you just fucking say something horrible to them and they just fucking start disappearing.
Your paw is weak and it disgusts me.
What about Tiana? I think she had one word that wasn't bleeped.
No, she said, bleep, 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 your bleeping face.
Yeah, I identified with Tiana, I think, out of all of them.
Right.
For sure.
And it was effective.
Yeah.
Well, Captain Freeman got bleeped too. She said, stop being such a whiny little bleep. I'm going to put in fuckers in that bleep.
The only way they could go to the party is by getting a 1 rating on their Uber, on the Uber ride.
What?
Did you get a bad Uber rating and you get into the party?
That's the only way they could get into the party. They had to Uber the guy there. They couldn't get there, because he was like duplicating. So they had to get a 1 rating. They had to insult the guy and get a 1 rating to get into the party.
Okay. I see how you're going with that. Okay.
Okay. It took us a minute to get to your logic there.
Yeah.
But we got there.
It's a horrible joke if you have to explain it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just go have a prune juice spritz and you'll be fine.
I am getting old.
I can't believe that's what Boimler ordered. A prune juice spritz.
I mean,
That was
come on.
funny.
I mean, it sounds like even Worf wouldn't order one of those.
Well,
And he likes prune
maybe.
juice.
Not even Picard at his age now wouldn't order a prune juice spritz.
That sounds like another bad website.
Maybe his
Right?
Gollum will.
Picard's not a golem.
Yes, he is.
No,
He is
he's
so a
not.
golem.
No, he's not.
He's
Nope.
totally
Nope.
Is there an
Nope.
argument now?
Nope.
Well, maybe when Q came in, he snapped his fingers and turned Picard back from a golem into the real
Into
Picard.
a real boy.
Into a real boy.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
Oh, and that'll be interesting to see if Q notices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that happen. It's like, oh, you're mechanical now.
I hope they actually talk about it. I hope it's not one of those things they just forget and never bring up again.
Oh, no, they have to bring that up again.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Well, I like when Boimler and Mariner sit in the bar and he's like, I didn't even know you had feelings. She's like, of course I do. I just don't like to show them to people.
Yeah, she was really laying into him, too. It was like, you're such a jerk. Or
You left me. I've been waiting for you to apologize. Like, how am I supposed to know that, dude?
Yep. Well, anger's the easiest emotion to show, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, bitch.
And anger's always precipitated by fear.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. And she was scared of being left by him when he went to the Titan. That's why she kept going back to it.
well, and he was scared of her trying to talk him out of it. So that's why he didn't say anything to her.
Yeah.
That's why he just left.
So all they had to do is communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like always the wrong time to communicate this kind of thing, because this is like a big deal for the two of them, and they just the most horrible time to pick up, and it's like right in the middle of a party, you're trying to have a good time at a bar, and they're yelling at each other.
Yeah. Well, that's why a dive bar is like really good.
Oh, and did you guys know the bartender,
Oh, who?
Jennifer Lewis? You would know her from Blackish, from Cars, and The Princess and the Frog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, she had a great, distinct voice. She stood out.
Yeah, she's one of the most recognizable and most working actors in Hollywood. I mean,
Wow.
She's in like, I think it said 300 credits to her name, I think.
I'm telling
like
you,
that.
Star Trek brings the good quality acting. It just does.
Yeah, completely, 100%.
Did you notice the sign outside of the bar? It said free shots.
It did.
It said free shot. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to this bar and get free shots. That's awesome.
Wonder what you have to do to get those free shots.
I think
Hey, Rocky, take off your shirt. Show him your tits.
Excuse me?
That's how you get the free shot. Oh, yeah. You're not from like Free Cloud. I forgot.
The DJ at the party, the outrageous Okana. How could you not? That was an awesome drop right there.
Right, Billy Campbell, hello.
That was great.
From the TNG episode, yeah. Ceti and Okana. The captain's like, he's not even Starfleet.
I know, right? They just let him in there and DJ. I mean, he was doing a good job, but just like, whoa, what a cool little drop to get him in there.
Totally. It took me a minute to when they showed his character, I was like, God, that looks really familiar. I mean, I had to look it up because I'm like, oh, okay, now I know who it is.
I'm surprised there wasn't Riker and Picard up there playing their trombone and flute.
Yeah, and that's a different kind of party, I guess. Not so classy.
Yeah, that would have been that kind of party. Yeah.
But back to the dive bar. What a cool, outrageous collection of decorations they had, because they had the Doomsday Machine, and I believe that was also the Phoenix was in there too.
I did not even notice any of that.
Yeah, it had some cool decorations in there, and they're just talking about how like, oh yeah, this bar is history, man. It's got like, there's a reason why they have some cool things, scrawled into the bar, because cool people come into this bar and hang out.
Well, talking about crawling into stuff, like Tiana was like, I let Admiral Burma put bleep up my bleep. I was like,
what? It's like, excuse me?
I'm like, girl, you got some issues.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing like pulling, Enterprise out of space dock, but putting a bleep up your bleep. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's not the kind of docking I was talking about.
No. Not at all.
And of course, the best part of all, they change out a new model. They've got the new model for Tendi and Rutherford.
Oh, that was great.
It's DS9.
Oh, DS9 with a real Ezri and Jadzia.
I mean, you got both of them. That's like the great collection right there.
I know. He was so geeking on that. It was like, I totally love that moment.
But at this point, I'm like, wait a minute. Are they, they're like self-referencing Star Trek, like directly, It's kind of like.
Well, one of the episodes, Mariner actually said the name of an old episode, The Last Outpost.
Yeah, she was talking about the Ferengi. She actually said the name of the episodes. It was kind of referencing
that
like
blew
a little.
my mind.
It's like they couldn't like do it more smoothly, or.
And then they did it with Voy.
Yeah, Voy Voy. So they're having fun with it, but at some point it's like you guys are trying to put too many references in, or you're trying too hard to sneak it in there. And
I don't know. I thought the last episode or two felt more original instead of like, Easter egg bonanza.
Oh, and I like the stories. I mean, I thought that was that was kind of silly sitcom style. We got to get to the party.
Yeah, that was cute.
It's like an 80s movie,
I love how that was the goal.
But yeah, they did drop, Easter eggs and references to old Trek and whatnot, but it wasn't like the episode when they were in the collector.
That
was insane.
Like, boom, 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 boom.
They were referencing stuff that wasn't even Star Trek in that.
Right.
Yeah. Like Back to the Future and the Blade Runner and everything, the unicorn with Blade Runner.
Oh, and then last episode we had the aliens reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the knife game. So, I mean, they throw them in there. Sometimes they throw in a lot. And sometimes, like this episode, they just throw in, a few here and there. And sometimes, if you're not paying attention, you might miss it, like the Captain Pike, reference with the guy in the chair that they almost ran over.
I totally missed it. I swear to God, the only way I see it is if I pause the screen and actually, sit there and actively look for it. If I don't do it, it just goes by so fast.
Well, this was before, so they almost ran into him. And then when they stopped and turned the car in reverse, it was right before that.
Okay.
So if you go back and watch it again, you'll see it.
Oh, yeah. Part of the car chase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the Mariner officially made Boimler her number one.
Right. Now he's got to grow a beard.
That was just so funny. And Boimler's like, I don't think it works like that. And of course, Captain Freeman's behind. Yes, it does.
I saw it happen.
Yeah, it's already done. You're already number one.
I just hope he doesn't grow that beard. I don't think Boimler would look very good with a beard.
He would look very parallel universe, like mirror universe Boimler.
Well, see, for me, that was like a double entendre. You could actually grow a physical beard, or you could, get a beard, which in, gay culture is a woman who pretends to be your wife.
Oh.
So that you don't come out, so you don't have to come out of the closet.
That's what
really.
that means. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. It is a double entendre.
So when someone says that, like, to a guy that his wife is a beard, she's just a cover, so that he looks like he's straight.
Yeah, I could see that with Boimler.
Could be. You never know. Double entendre there, so
fascinating.
Maybe Mike McMahon's playing the line there.
Well, he has no problem putting sexual stuff in his shows, that's for sure.
Nor do we.
Yeah, nor do we.
Okay, one little gripe. At the end, I mean, you've got that really cute ending with the signatures scrawled into the table, both Spock and Kirk and Mariner and Boimler. But at the same time, I'm looking at it and go, wait a second, the writing's the same. It's the same font. I mean, it's like the same writing. The same person did it. This is the same problem that I have with West Side Story. The sharks and the jets graffiti look like it was done by the same fucking person.
It probably was.
That was just one little thing that caught my eye. I was like, oh no, they did that.
Maybe the bartender was the one that actually did it for both of them.
That would be weird.
She might have. Well, she's respect. She doesn't look that old. She's been around for a while, so
maybe she's fun like that.
Could be. Well, are we about ready to wrap this puppy up, folks?
I think so. Are we doing ratings?
I think we got it, yeah.
All right, we're going to do a rating. So what did you give it, Heather?
Oh, I give this a solid, we'll give it an 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, I really like the Dooplers. I thought it was hilarious. I like how they were duplicating like tribbles. I thought it was funny. I like how they are starting to make it not so Easter egg and do like more original storylines where they're actually creating aliens now instead of, referencing aliens. So I thought that's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to see what else they create.
Cool. Rocky?
I would give it I'm backed up to my 0.5, so 8.5. I like this a lot. I really enjoyed it. The Dooplers were ridiculous, but they made a good use of them. And I love the solution to get rid of them. Just fucking insult them. So now we're going to run around our own ship and see if it works on the tribbles.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, you little furball, go fuck yourself. Oh, wait, don't do that.
And then they go and fuck your leg. Bum, bum, bum.
I chihuahuas. Well, I think I'll probably go with an 8 as well. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It had some great references, and the banter going back and forth was really good.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, we don't know what to tell you people about next week's episode because they don't post this soon, as far as the name goes.
Why is that?
I don't know.
They have it done by now, right? I mean,
You would
you'd have
think
to.
so.
It's so freaking annoying. I don't know why.
Oh, hey, Captain. You sort of forgot your clothes. You might want to go back in there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so he made it out of the dungeon?
Well, yes, he made it out of the dungeon. His clothes didn't make it out of the dungeon with him. So he went back in there to go search for them.
When you're on a St. Andrew's cross, you're not dressed, generally speaking.
So
He must have been dazed when he walked out then.
where you just don't walk out without your clothes. I mean,
Well, he didn't even say anything. He just blushed and turned around and went back in.
just somebody else's clothes.
Anyway, okay, well, folks, thanks for listening. Don't forget to join us for the live show, probably Monday morning, 9:30. Or is that what we're thinking, Heather?
Yep.
That's
Maybe,
usually the plan, but sometimes the plan gets stretched.
Yeah, when we get it up there, sometimes the tribbles give me some problems, and it takes me a while.
So just keep an ear out for, you can look on our Twitter. We'll retweet. Heather tweets out when she posts it up for YouTube Live, and then you look at our Twitter account. We'll say, here's the link here, and then you can go find it there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show, and don't just have a great week. Make it so.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG, and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.